All right. Yo, what's up, guys? This is Tom here. I'm back with my buddy Sebastian. This was one of my five rookies who completed a summer with Vivint. Me and Sebastian have known each other for about, I would say like 9 months, nine to
Nine,
11
10,
months,
yeah,
something like
almost a
that.
year
We
now.
met back, yeah, we met back in like January, February this past beginning of the year. So Sebastian was one of the top rookies on the team in Buffalo, New York. So Sebastian, go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers. Tell us how old you are, where you're from, do you have any college experience, um, what did you do before Vivint and sales, and why I guess you got into Vivint and
Of,
why you
of
chose
course,
it.
of course. What's up? I'm Sebastian. I'm 23 years old, about to be 24. I am Puerto Rican, moved to Florida when I was 16, did sophomore, junior, and senior year in high school. And then COVID hit, did one semester in college online. Immediately, that wasn't for me. Did retail sales when I was younger, 18 years old. But afterwards, after COVID hit, I just found a job as a independent contractor delivering TVs for Best Buy. And I tried all these business models, but I quickly realized that I needed cash flow. I needed to get into a sales job. And that's where I met Tommy. I delivered his TV in his apartment, and he pitched me the idea of Vivint, and here we are.
Oh yeah. How much money did you end up making this past summer in Buffalo?
About 40 grand.
So about like 10 grand a month.
Yes, sir.
Before door-to-door sales, I know you said you were doing all that. Did you have any other like side hustles or business models that you were working on?
Yes, I did try drop shipping. I did Amazon FBA. I did Uber Eats. I
Mhm.
Ubered, and I quickly realized that on those business models, especially drop shipping and Amazon FBA, you need a capital to be able to sustain your business. So that's when I was introduced to sales and immediately took the leap.
And what did your parents or family members or friends like? What did they think? You know, when you took the leap of faith from going from a regular delivery or retail job that most people could like qualify for without like a college degree to moving on to something that's not W-2, it's 1099. It's kind of 100% commission. It's a, eat what you kill base. You leave Florida for almost half of the year. What did they have to say about it?
My mom has always been super supportive of me and trusts my instinct when it comes to jobs. So from my parents and I didn't get any pushback like some people might have. So, however, you still feel the pressure of you need to sell, and everyone else that knows you're doing something else and you just taking to sleep will be in those comments will be in the back of your head. But as long as you stay focused and put in the work and forget about the noise, you'll be all right.
Nice. And being number two out of five rookies for all the rookies that I recruited this past summer, what do you feel like was one of your best qualities that contributed to your help and your success?
Just staying consistent. Consistency was key. I started knocking on February, going towards May. So it wasn't immediate results when I started knocking, but just staying consistent and staying focused on the end goal helped me get through it.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is a big, big point that I'd like to highlight, guys, because personal development is so redundant. Success is so redundant. We all see the same reels, same shorts, same TikToks on our timelines every single day with the same motivational uh phrases. They're just kind of switched up. There's different sounds and there's different, backgrounds, different, videos of what people are living, but it just comes down to consistency, like doing the same thing over and over and over again. People try to compare their day one to someone's day 1,000, and that's just not realistic. It's okay to compare yourself to people that you want to be like, but they would not have the results that they have if they weren't consistent throughout that timeline. So doing the boring things, most importantly, not giving up and just continuing to show up for yourself will get you to where you guys want to be. So sweet. So you already said you did some retail sales before this. How long do you think it took you to like actually close your first deal or so? Like,
It was 3 or 4 days when I found my guy, and then from the excitement, I feel like I had a pretty good preseason and blitz trip. But when I got to summer, it wasn't until that it was more technical and people were super different. It wasn't until the third week Saturday that I got my first deal.
how locked in were you? Like, what was your mindset going from, like I said, a consistent paycheck to something that was like 100% commission based and all the deals that you sell, like you have to like make up for yourself. Like you have complete control of how much money you want to make in your destiny. So leaving something that was stable to something that, whatever you produce is what you make. What was like your mindset and how locked in were you? Like how do you take it seriously?
So in the position I was at, I had to take it serious no matter what. So I was used to a paycheck, and I feel like that propelled me to push myself to see that same paycheck that I was getting by just selling. And it did took me a while to break that barrier because you're worth what you believe you're worth. So my belief was that paycheck. So when I started like actually getting down the job, I was like, I have to break that that belief in order for me to take the next step. But the
It's
hunger.
for sure. And you said you made about 40 grand. How did that feel? Making a year's worth of income in just a short amount of time. Because if you really think about it, 40 grand in a summer would have equaled out to 120 grand a year. So that's like 10
Right,
grand a month.
right. I mean, it's not easy at first, but once you see, just forget about the money, just keep working, and then at the end you see that amount of money that you made just by walking and talking to people, it's absolutely worth it. It's game changing in terms of aspect and belief.
Thanks, man. What would be your message to the people who have no experience in sales and have been looking to get into door to door or like any remote sales? Like, what would you be your message to them who haven't kind of take the leap of faith that you did back in January or February?
Yeah. I think if you're stuck um in life and you're not sure where you wanna go, sales is the best opportunity for you just because you get to improve on yourself and you get paid what you're worth. So it will build you as a person, but it will also generate you the necessary cash flow to invest in other businesses idea that you really want to do in the future. So sales is crucial in every interaction something's being sold. So just knowing the skill of sales, it's important for sure.
Yeah, man, I like what you said there. Your income will never outperform your personal development. So the more you get better as a person, the more problems you're able to solve, and your income is directly in proportion of how many problems you solve and how many people you can serve. So that's awesome. And for the people that are not succeeding right now, because I know, like I said, you had a pretty fast start and the summer went well for you. What would be your advice for the people that aren't seeing like the results or they're not really succeeding? What would you kind of tell them?
Um, be super coachable. Um, when someone approaches you, take everything in and just put your head down, focus on the end goal rather than the instant gratification, right? Because we're used to this instant gratification with social media and, just eating and life in general. So just being able to stay focused and working, knowing that in the end you'll be able to succeed, it's major.
For sure. And I know you said you made like 40 grand, so that's typically like 60 accounts in the summer. I want you to tell the viewers like kind of like what you went through your first three deals and what was it like selling your last three. So talk a little bit about selling your first three and then like the last three that you've just sold. The difference, kind of like everything, like if you could think back.
Yeah, so the first thing that comes to mind, the th first three were a grind for the first three deals, and the last three is like, okay, I know if I talk to a certain amount of people and get my pitch out a certain amount of times, I will eventually transition a certain amount of times and present a certain amount of times and be able to get a sale. So at the end, it's more of work ethic and finishing strong. At the beginning, it's just, can I do this?
Yeah. How do you feel like, the sales process that you had and you kind of knew then and like the closing, like how did you feel then and then like kind of like most recently, like the difference of that, like how much more confident do you feel like in the process, the product, the word tracks, the one-liners, and like your closing ability compared to like when you first started?
Right.
What's the
So
difference?
100 times more comfortable and confident just because you've been through that same scenario multiple times already. So there wasn't anything, there's only a certain amount of stuff people can tell you, but at one point it just gets repetitive and you are kind of like expecting it, and it just helps you feel more comfortable, more confident, and that your customer always obviously feels that.
Gotcha. So you'd say that sales is like a transfer of energy?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you like every single day that you do go out there and work, you feel like you're like expecting to sell.
I i have to believe, I try to get my belief as high as I can. So if I put my head down and work, I'm expecting to at least get through three presentations and
Gotcha.
eventually one
Out of
will
those,
land.
yeah, for every three, like you close at least one.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, and how do you feel like, I guess this is a little bit off topic, but now like after doing a summer of door-to-door sales, how do you feel like now going into like dating and relationships? Like how much more do you feel like you can control a conversation? How much more like confidence do you have, I guess, uh, dating and just being around people?
Right.
Just because you probably talked to over 10 to
Yeah.
20, 30, 40,000 people this summer. So,
Yeah.
tell them how natural it feels.
Yeah. Definitely way more natural. And the sales process is the process you can follow when meeting and getting to know people. So it just takes 3 seconds of courage to knock on a door. It also just takes 3 seconds of courage go talk to a girl. You can implement your communication skills, your sales skills to any conversation you have in life.
So I guess you're just trying to say like whatever it is in life, the secret is just starting and doing. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah,
Whatever problems you have, just do what you need to do.
just do it. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you, Sebastian, for having me on this call. That's a wrap for this video, guys. Make sure if you're wanting to learn and work with me, make sure you guys go to the link in bio, see if you guys qualify my one-on-one coaching and mentorship. Thanks, Sebastian.
Got you, Top T.
All right. Have a good one.